Hello, you beautiful people. In this video, I want to talk about one of the really, I think, interesting learning methodology that personally I really love it, and I wish that I could have it when I was in school time, my primary and secondary school. This approach called flipped classroom. Flipped classroom. So let me talk about it. Traditionally, you go to the classroom, then you have no idea about the topic. You may hear it a little bit about it before, but it's the first time you encounter with it. Teacher will come and as presenter, he or she talk about a topic, and then it's typically 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, 1 to 2 hours. And then you don't have that much time to ask or do some collaborative activities. So you have to be sure to grasp everything and don't miss anything and don't look at left and right and don't check your phone, be there 100%, listen. And then back home, then review yourself if you are really a serious person about it. But 9 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, at our time, I'm talking. So this is what we did, and we grown up in that way. And most of the times we have to think lonely, lonely by ourselves and faced with questions. But now the world changed. There are tons of YouTube channels that provide information in a beautiful way, colorful way. And if we look at teacher just as a person supposedly to come and stand and present, then this is downgrading the teacher. Teacher job was inspiration, coaching. So this changing the whole world and universe and YouTube and many more things give us some idea for new approach. So this is what I'm going to talk about it. This model that we call it flipped classroom. Flipped classroom, it's a sort of reversing the place between teacher and students. What do we do in this approach? Teachers, they try to record their video and create digital courses, and then also figure out what other YouTube channels can be suggested to students, collecting them, some articles, some games, animations, and all of them. Then they send teaching material 1 or 2 weeks before the class to students and ask the students to go through it. Then in this pre-phase, students, they go through all the material by themselves and they watch the videos. If, for example, let's say your students, you're fast learners, you can do it fast and then go for more challenges. If you're a slow learner, so you can pause it and you can search. If you're a visual learner, I don't know, you can search over the internet and then see more YouTube channels in the way that you want it in your home. And also at the same time, they can collaborate in the chat environment with other students. So that's the first phase. Then it comes to the day of the class. So we go to the class, 2 hours class, but this time we have a lot of time. We don't want to sit and listen. What we do, we divide the students into small groups, and then we give them some challenges, real life problem. Because remember, the goal of education is to go out and solve real life problem, not memorizing and passing exam and get A plus. So this is what missing in school. In this way, time is there. Students collaborate, debate, and talk about whatever they heard and go through the videos, and they can challenge the understanding. Oh, that's the meaning of this. Oh, you got another point. We learn a lot when we communicate about it. And teachers, they have a lot of time, so they can go through the students and inspire them, motivate them, coaching. This is really amazing. When the class finish, so now we go for the post phase. They go back home, teachers send them formative assessments, quizzes, challenges, some assignments, and then the students, they make sure that, okay, I got everything. And still they can collaborate together through the online environment. So this is very interesting model, flipped classroom. So one of the very interesting thing about flipped classroom is, in contrast with the traditional model that you have to go home and think by yourself, here we think together in a very collaborative way. That's amazing because we, in a safe way, is like kind of, okay, this is not an exam. I'm going to talk about whatever I learned and you learn and shared, and the result is really, really amazing. Another interesting thing about a flipped classroom is, I know that some of us are worried that what's going to happen for physical class when this virtual environment is really growing interesting in a fast way. This is the approach. Physical environment is important, social engagement important, but not just in a traditional way. If you want it in traditional way, it's a threat. It's not an opportunity, but it can be an opportunity if you launch it in that way. In this way, in this flipped classroom, virtual class and physical class, they complete each other. And it's really, really important and can be effective because that's how our children are going to work in future. It's very obvious, especially after this pandemic, we can feel it, we can see it. So I think this is a great way, and this is the future a model for education. And my personal experience, really good in Kidacode. We have done this, and the outcome is Really, really amazing. And you know what? I always think that three skills are important when you are in the process of learning. One is critical thinking, when you think how to solve the problem. And then when you collaborate between your friends and teams to find the answers. And then you present it, communication. And this flipped classroom really cover all these skills. So this was about flipped classroom. Definitely search about it. It's the future of the education model. There are a lot of communities that are trying to apply it and approach it. And you will also find some interesting YouTube channels and organizations that are talking about flipped classroom. That's all, everyone. Flip to your life.